All right, the Switch 2, that's right, Nintendo's next big console, well, was revealed just the other day, and honestly, I'd have to say it was a bit of a disappointment. I would say that while there is a little bit of excitement for it, it isn't this big reveal. It wasn't this big reveal. It wasn't this big ordeal that I think a lot of people were hoping it would be. But while this reveal showcased this new sleek design, this new, updated design, I guess you can say, besides that and a look at the upcoming Mario Kart 9, there really wasn't much more given. Sure, we're going to have a further look in April for what we're going to get and when we're going to get it, but people want to know, how much is it going to cost? What kind of graphics is it going to have? What is the big deal about the Switch 2, which it should have been called the Super Switch if you ask me, but what is the big deal about this? Well, there is a new rumor that is out there that's possibly giving us the price of what the Nintendo Switch 2 will be. Now, this is coming from That Park Place. It says Nintendo Switch 2 price and release window reportedly revealed, coming this summer at a steep cost. So, what do they say? It says Nintendo's announcement of the Switch 2 has set the gaming world abuzz, with fans eager to learn more about the next generation console. Look, yes, people are abuzz, but like I said, I think it's more people are just a little bit disappointed. It's not this earth-shattering console that I think people were hoping it would be. And honestly, I think people kind of expected it to be exactly what it turned out to be. As you can see here, it's basically, I think I saw somebody say it best. It's almost like, remember when they had the Nintendo DS and then they did the Nintendo DS XL? It's almost like that. It's not anything spectacular. They just made it larger, and that's all it really seems to be. It's, a little bit different, but just larger, maybe better graphics, but we don't even know that yet. Specifically, we know it's going to have better graphics, but kind of let's get into it here. Following the recent released teaser trailer and confirmation of Nintendo Direct set for April 2nd, speculation about the price and release window for the Switch 2 has intensified. Special Nick, host of the Xbox Era podcast, recently added fuel to the fire with unverified rumors about a June 2025 release and pricing tiers. Look, I think it should have released in March or even April at the latest. The fact that they released something in January to say, hey, look, here's the console, and then they're not releasing it until June, I think is absurd. I think that if they're this far ahead, releasing it in March or April is when they should have done it. I don't understand why they're waiting till June, but hey, that's not for me to know, I guess, right? So, the rumored pricing and release details. In a post on X, this Special Nick cited sources close to Nintendo claiming the Switch 2 would launch in June with two pricing options, a $449 base model and a $499 bundle that includes the new Mario Kart game teased in the trailer. I think that's a bit high for a Switch XL, mind you. Again, we don't know all the details about it, and we don't know all the games that are going to be coming out for it at launch. The one thing that I realized last generation when we were talking about the Xbox and the PlayStation is when those consoles came out in 2020, there was like nothing that was worth getting it. Like I got the Series S. I actually had the Series S sitting here, the one that I got the first year. I think I got it for my birthday, which was just a few months after it came out, because it came out in November 2020. I got it in January 2021. So just a few months after it came out, I got the Series S. I didn't end up getting the Series X until about a year later, like sometime 2021, late 2021 or even 2022, something like that. I don't even remember. It wasn't needed. There weren't games that were needed. The biggest game that I really wanted the Series S or X4 was Halo. But besides that, there weren't really a lot of games. Even for the PlayStation 5, there weren't a lot of games. And I'm worried about that for the Nintendo as well. Now, don't get me wrong. When it comes to Nintendo, their first-party games, that's the only reason you should really get a Nintendo is for first-party games. Whether it's Mario, whether it's Zelda, whether it's Mario Kart or Mario Party, things. Their first-party games are really what set it apart from everything else. The Metroid Primes, things like that. But if you get down to it, we're not going to get all those games day one. We're going to get a Mario Kart, sure. And it's possible that we get a new Super Mario Odyssey. That's kind of the rumor on the street. Whether that comes day one or within the first year, that's to be seen. But $500 for a Switch XL, essentially? I don't know. He wrote, so if the person who told me the June release is all but confirmed to be correct, then that would mean the pricing that they gave him, $449, $500, might also be correct. Think the $50 extra is the Mario Kart bundle. While these rumors remain unverified, they offer a glimpse into what players might expect when the new console hits the market. Now, if accurate, the Switch 2's base price of $450 represent a $150 increase from the original Switch launch price of $300 and a $100 jump from the current Switch OLED. That's a hefty price, especially when the new Switch isn't going to have an OLED screen by all accounts. Most people don't believe that the new Switch is going to have an OLED screen. That's crazy. Sure, it's going to have some better hardware for better graphics, but the graphics they're talking about is at best, Xbox Series S graphics, which at this point is 5-6-year-old graphics. Like you see, like this is insane. Again, when you're talking about the Nintendo, you're not always talking about graphics. You're talking about the joy, the fun of playing the first party games. I get that. But do you really want to pay this amount of money for this hardware? I don't think so. Now they continue, if Nintendo were to go with a more reasonable $400 base price, the $50 gap between the OLED and the Switch, the OLED Switch and the rumored base price for the Switch 2 raises an interesting point. For a next-gen console with improved hardware, new features, and a larger OLED display, a $50 difference might actually undervalue the console. It's worth considering that the hardware costs have risen across the board since the Switch first launched in 2017, with inflation, supply chain challenges, and advancement in technology driving up production costs. Yeah, they're not wrong, because technology prices go up. But again, there's rumor that there's not going to be an OLED screen on this. If there is, sure, I can see the price going up. But the technology they're using is older technology. It's not like it's new technology. It's not like it's brand new technology. So to me, I feel like it should stick around the same price that the Switch is right now. Even if it just was the $350 of the OLED Switch. I don't know. I just sit here and I take a look and I say, maybe they should rethink their pricing scheme. Again, this is all rumor. But what do we know, right? What do we know right now? What do we know? What do I know? Look, I think go to that Park Place, read this because it's really interesting. I want to know what you think, though. Do you think the Switch 2 this release trailer was a hit? Are you excited about it? Again, like I said, I think that it was an odd choice to do this teaser. I think it's an odd choice if these rumors are true to go with this price point. I have a problem with the release window as well. I think that March was the ample opportunity to release it. I think the first Switch released in March as well. I think it would have made sense. Look, we're talking about 7-8 years. This March is going to be 8 years since the last Switch released. That's insane. So you're talking more than 8 years for the Switch 2 to release. It's crazy to me. But let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you have to say and think about this in the comments. Let me know. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. For me, Slav, on Slav's Free Talk. With all that said, I'll catch you all later.